So today we have a simple yet interesting geometrical problem. First of all, let us understand the question. So it's very simple. We have a square and three line segments of the particular length 2 square root of 2 square root of 7 and 3 square root of 3. And all you need to do is find this particular angle theta. So you can give this question a try. It's simple and easy to do. I can just give you a hint. You can just start by drawing this diagonal. Okay. Now let us proceed to my solution. The first thing that I did is I consider the side of square as x. I just took the side length of the square as equals to x. So this side is x, this is x. This is the fact that that is why it was given x. Sorry, not x, it was given a square. Means if it was a rectangle, we cannot use this particular fact that all the four sides are equal. So whatever thing is given in a geometrical problem, you should utilize it very carefully. So the first thing that comes in our mind using a square is that all the four sides are equal. So if one side is x, all the four sides are x. Now as I gave you the hint, let me just use the same hint. The hint was not given in this geometrical problem. Whatever solution I did, this hint is sufficient for my kind of solution. If you have any other solution, you must not even require the diagonal also. Okay, so as it was a square, so this angle was 90 degree. So x and x by Pythagoras theorem, we can have this diagonal length as square root of 2x. Okay, now let us consider this particular angle as equals to alpha. So what can you say about this angle? If you are considering as something different, no need to do a different variable. It can simply turn out to be 45 minus alpha. How? So look carefully at this particular thing. It's very simple in geometry. Let me just redraw this very nicely. So yes, it's very simple in geometry. If you have a square, then the diagonal, drawing the diagonal, what does the diagonal do is it divides the square into two congruent triangles. And as these two triangles are congruent, so the angles would be equal. So these two angles become equal, but the overall angle is 90 degree. So overall angle 90 is divided into two equal angles. Hence each of that attains a value 45. So the same thing is happening over here. So the overall angle is a 45 degree and some part of it is already alpha. So the remaining part becomes 45 minus alpha. Okay. Now let me just mention my favorite cosine rule. So cosine rule basically suggests that in any triangle, if we have some angle beta and the side lengths are A, B and C, then the value of cos beta is equals to square of the adjacent side, so A square plus B square, minus the square of the opposite, so minus C square, divided by 2 times AB. Okay. So this cosine rule will be used in this particular question two times. The first one is in this particular triangle, not from the perspective of theta, but from the perspective of alpha. So from the alpha perspective, it would be x square plus 3 square root of 3 the whole square minus 2 square root of 2 the whole square. You can just see in the diagram, these are the side lengths. And divided by 2 times x times 3 square root of 3. So finally the value of cos alpha will turn out to be x square plus 27 minus 8 divided by 6 square root of 3 times x. Nice. So finally we will have x square plus 19 divided by 6 square root of 3 times x. This is the value of cos alpha. Now let us talk about sin alpha. So it is going to be simply 1 of square root of 1 minus cos square alpha. So square root of 1 minus x square plus 19 upon 6 square root of 3x the whole square. Simplifying this will give us the value of sin alpha as equals to square root of 108 x square minus x square plus 19 the whole square, and in the division we will have 6 square root of 3x. So this is the nice value of sin alpha that we have, and this was the value of cos alpha. This implies this was the value of cos alpha. Let me just use a different color. White would do. Yes, this is the value of cos alpha that we have, and this is the value of sin alpha. Keep this thing over here. Now look carefully, the angle that we have got over here, that was 45 minus alpha. So we can have the value of cos of 45 minus alpha from that perspective, and considering this particular bigger triangle. So let me just erase this thing from here. Okay. Oh, yes. So now talking about from that perspective, the value of cos 45 minus alpha, you can just think of the sides. Okay, I have also seen. So it's going to be 3 square root of 3 the whole square plus square root of 2x the whole square minus square root of 7 the whole square divided by 2 times 3 times square root of 3 and square root of 2x. So the overall answer of cos 45 minus x will turn out to be 27 plus 2x square minus 7 divided by 6 square root of 6x. So finally the value of cos 45 minus not x, 45 minus alpha, sorry for this mistake. So the final value of cos 45 minus alpha is going to be 20 plus 2x square divided by 6 square root of 6x. You can go on and cancel the 2 from the numerator and denominator, and henceforth get 10 plus x square divided by 3 square root of 6x. This is the value of cos 45 minus alpha. Now look carefully. What we have is the value of cos a minus b. It's a trigonometric identity that breaks down as cos a cos b plus, as it is negative, it is positive over here, sine a sine b. So in the LHS we have cos 45 minus alpha, hence it can break down as cos 45 into cos alpha plus sine 45 into sine alpha, and it would still be equals to 10 plus x square divided by 3 square root of 6x. Okay. Now cos 45 has a value 1 upon square root of 2, and cos alpha was having this particular value. So overall x square plus 19, root 2 will get multiplied in the denominator, hence we will have 6 square root of 6x plus. Now the value of sine alpha was ridiculously this one. Let us consider that, no problem. Square root of 108 x square minus x square plus 19 the whole square. All of this in square root. And in the division we will have a root 2 multiplied. So 6 square root of 6x. And this is equals to 10 plus x square upon 3 square root of 6x. Clearly x is not equals to 0, and 6 square root of 6x will get cancelled out, and the 6 that is common in the denominator will get multiplied over here. From the table of 3 it will become 2. So finally we will have x square plus 19 plus the square root of 108 x square minus, let us open this, so x raised to 4 minus 38 x square minus 361 is equals to, here we have 2 multiplied with this thing, so 20 plus 2x square. Look carefully, these two terms will get subtracted over here, and hence we will have x square plus 1 is equals to the square root. So let us just remove the square root and do the square over here. I am just shortening the steps over here a little fast forward, and this one become 108x square. Let us simplify this thing also. So equals to negative x raised to 4 positive 70x square minus 361. Now the LHS part would become x raised to 4 plus 2x square plus 1, and that's negative x raised to 4 plus 70x square minus 361. Simplifying this means 2 raised to x4 plus 2x square means negative 68x square plus 1 plus means plus 362, and that is 0. Factoring out the 2 means x raised to 4 minus 34x square plus 181 results in 0. So here we have a quadratic formula. Now not the quadratic formula, a quadratic equation. Now why I am saying it a quadratic equation, because in general the quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, and here what we have is x raised to 4 and x raised to square. So you can just think of like the general formula was this, just not x, you will get confused. Let us suppose the general formula is ay square plus by plus c equals to 0. So instead of y, what we have over here is x square. So using this, the quadratic formula gives us the value of y as negative b plus and minus the square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Now here what we have instead of y is x square, so we will have the value of x square. So using the quadratic formula, so let me write by quadratic formula, what we have is the value of x square as equals to negative b means 34 plus and minus the square root of 34 square means 4 4 16 3 3 9 3 4 12 and 12 into 2 24. So it's 1156. So 1156 minus 4ac. So 4 32 724, and this one divided by 2. So finally the value of x square has come out to be 34 plus and minus 1156 minus 724. It's 2, it's 3, it's 432. And square root of 432, let us just factor out. So from the table of 4, it's going to be 108. Okay, from the table of 36, it's going to be 3. So overall we can take 6 into 12, 6 and 2, 12 common, so 12 square root of 3 divided by 2. So final value of x square has turned out to be what? It's 17 plus and minus 6 square root of 3. So this is the value of x square that we have just right now. Is it correct? Let me just cross check. So 432 is okay. 4 into 108, 36 into 3, we'll have 6 and 2, 12, 12 and 2 has gone. Okay, 6, 9. So this is the value of x square, 17 plus and minus 6 square root of 3. And we cannot just say right now that we should consider it with the positive or the negative, because both the results are positive and x square can be positive. Now look carefully. this was not all our motive not to find in fact x square. Here you can see we have got the value of x square also. So if the question was to find the side length or the area of the square, that question has been done over here. The actual question was to find the angle theta. So let us talk about that. So now, as you can see, the theta angle is inscribed over there, theta. So from that perspective, if I apply the cosine rule, what I will get is cos theta is equals to 2 square root of 2 the whole square plus 3 square root of 3 the whole square minus x square divided by 2 times the 2 square root of 2 and 3 square root of 3. Okay. So finally the value of cos theta will turn out to be 8 plus 27, that means 35, minus, now clearly we can just use the value of x square, and that is 17, plus and minus 6 square root of 3, and in the division we will have 2 times 6 square root of 6. Okay. So finally the value of cos theta has turned out to be 35 minus 17 means 18. 18 minus plus 6 square root of 3 divided by 2 times 6 square root of 6. Okay. So I can just factor out a 6. So we'll have 3 minus plus the root 3 upon 2 square root of 6. I can even factor out a root 3. So we will have root 3 minus plus 1 divided by 2 square root of not 3 but 2 square root of 2. Now, if you are familiar, you can just make out that this is a very famous value of cos, not from the usual trigonometric table that we learn, but yes, you have solved many problem. You can just figure out that it's the value of cos 15. And first of all, whether to consider minus 1 or plus 1, let us talk about that. So if I just go with plus 1, I will have root 3 plus 1 upon 2 square root of 2. And if I go with minus 1, I will have root 3 minus 1 upon 2 square root of 2. Now, which value should we consider is task to be understood over here. So it's 1.732 minus 1 upon 2 square root of 2, and on the other side we'll have 1.732 plus 1 upon 2 square root of 2. And let me just first of all tell you which value does it resembles. I am still confused whether to take the negative and positive. I hope you guys can help me in the comment section. Let's talk. So what we have is the value of cos 30 as equals to square root of 3 upon 2. Now we have this trigonometric identity, cos 2 theta is 2 times cos square theta minus 1. Hence the value of cos 30 is same as 2 times cos square 15 minus 1. Hence cos 30 plus 1 divided by 2 is the value of cos square 15. Now cos 30 is root 3 by 2, so root 3 plus 2 and 2 will become 4, and the square root of this thing is going to be the value of cos 15. Now look carefully, the square root of 4 will become 2, and the root of root 3 plus 2 is the value of cos 15. Now this is interesting over here. The value 2 plus root 3 is basically 1 plus root 3 upon root to the whole square. You can just go ahead and solve. This thing just condense and becomes root 3 plus 2. In the division we have 2. So square and square root will get cancel out, and finally we'll have the value 1 plus root 3 upon 2 root 2. This is the value of cos 15, and obviously it is one of the value in our particular question. So cos theta, if we go with the plus sign, so root 3 plus 1 upon 2 square root of 2, and therefore theta will come out to be 15 degree. Now what I am thinking about is, what about the negative value, and what are the conditions that we will have this negative value? And it all comes down to this particular part, that x square is having this value, means the area of the square can be two ways, means the side length can be two ways, and still we can arrange the. Now let me just slow it down for you. What I'm trying to say is that x square is this particular value, and considering positive and negative, no matter, both the time we will have a positive value. Now when going with the plus 1, we will have obviously a bigger square because the sides will be bigger, and going with the negative we will have a smaller square. Okay. Now from both of this square type of arrangement, we can arrange these three line segments. Now what I guess is that uh, cos 15 was having this value. Now the graph of cos is like this way, it goes on decreasing like this. So for example, this is at the value 0 it's 1, and at 90 it is basically 0. At 15 we have this particular value, so after 0 somewhat 15 over here. So now root 3 plus 1 all divided by 2 root 2, this value was greater value than root 3 minus 1 divided by 2 square root of 2. So if this value is greater, this is coming over here, and this value is smaller, so it will come somewhat over here. So basically it, the whatever angle, if this is cos theta, then that theta is obviously going to be somewhat greater than 15 degree. Okay. So now coming back to this thing, so here we have 15 degree. Now what we have seen is that if we go with the negative value that theta has to be greater than 15 degree, means this angle over here would be a little broader, and to make it broader it will go like this way. Means like for the bigger square, this head would be a little tilted towards this side, so for the smaller square the head would be tilted little that side, and hence the theta will get bigger. And currently, do you guys or do I know what is root 3 minus 1 upon 2 root 2 to do with the value of cos theta? If cos theta is this thing, what can you say about the value of theta? Do we know this one? Mm, I guess I don't know currently, but you can say, or even if this value does exist or not, that's also a fact. Now, how to do that, I am not currently aware. I just leave it to you guys, but I can just make out this particular graphical and the diagram way that yes, this kind of line segments can be arranged on a top of a square in two ways. In one particular way, it will be tilted towards this side and hence theta would be 15 degree, but in the other way, we can have a smaller square and the line segments tilted towards this side furthermore, and hence the theta would somewhat be greater than 15 degree. Let's see what happens. You guys can also try and do suggest me in the comment, or you can just send me a photo, but yet for now we can have the value comparing equation 1 and 2. We can have the value that theta is equals to 15 degree. This is one of the correct answer and absolutely correct. So this was my way to solve this particular problem. If you have any other method other than this, you can do comment below, and if it's hard to explain in the comment, you can email me. The email address is in the description. Also, do like, share and subscribe if you enjoy watching my videos. Okay, still the tongue slip of tongues are going on. It will just improve, sorry for that. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.